Hello there. It's another time here on Leadership Platform, and it's my pleasure to welcome you. I am Ambassador Cliff Ayozie. Today we have a personality to behold, someone that has been deeply involved in serving his people, someone has distinguished himself in social circles, someone that was the public relations officer of MBC USA and also director of socials between 2012 and 2016. He also occupied the position of president, MBC Association of New Jersey, first time in 1996 to 1998, and currently serves in that very position as the president of MBC Association of New Jersey. I'm talking of no other person than someone that distinguishes himself on the microphone. I talk of multiple chief, Kelechi Onyegbule. It's my pleasure to have you join us.
Thank you, Ambassador. Good to be with you guys.
Yeah, well, I've talked about a little bit about you as somebody that has made his mark in the social circle, who has also distinguished himself serving his people. Would you want to give us a little more insight? Because I know people want to know you a lot more better.
Yes, Ambassador, just like you have rightly introduced me, my name is Kelechi Onyegbule. I live in New Jersey. I've been in New Jersey for quite a long time, and I'm being addressed as multiple chief. And you know what it is for the MBC culture, multiple chief. I've been given different chieftaincy titles from different communities in the MBC. Over 10 communities in MBC have honored me with chieftaincy titles. So my friends and folks refer to me as multiple chief, Kelechi Onyegbule. Apart from all the social skills that I have, I work also for the state of New Jersey as a social worker. And also, I'm an accomplished real estate professional with Exit Platinum Realty here in New Jersey.
Well, that's a great thing to hear. And one will be wondering because you spend some time in the United States now, and the younger folks, have different ideas of what United States is all about. Would you want to reflect a bit on your movement from Nigeria to the United States and what it took you to settle down and on your two legs?
Well, coming here in the late 80s, usually then people come just to acquire the knowledge, come to go to school, and the thought behind our coming then, or my coming, was come here, go to school, go back home, and serve their community, serve Nigeria. But things turned around. I came and went to school, studied. My background is criminal justice from an acclaimed university here, Jersey City State University. But it being that as it may, things turned around. People go to school, they finish up, they get some job here, and home is not home anymore. And then started to reside here. Coming then was, basically good. The naira, the rate of naira and the exchange was basically leveled on a 1-1. It is quite different from people coming here now. Most people coming here now come here to, a greater percentage of us now come here to work and to better themselves because of the Nigerian economy. So I would say it was a great thing coming and acquiring the knowledge and, studying here. People like me, it took me time to accept the American citizenship because I thought I was going home, established at home. But, here we are today. So it's a good thing. I encourage people based on the way our country, Nigeria, is. I encourage people, if they find ways of coming out to come here and better their life. This is a structured economy.
Well, people talk about the United States as a country of opportunities. And I know that a lot of our people have ideas. When ideas, connect opportunities, they create wealth. To what extent is that true with you or with people that folks you've interacted with?
It is true. I can testify that coming from my background as uh, a son of whose parents were basically on the, I would say, middle class. My parents were classroom teachers. My mother was a headmistress. My father was a headmaster. And what I have accomplished today, being in the US, shows that that opportunity of where a son of nobody can become somebody. So that's a great opportunity for this country. This country is a leveler. If you work hard and strive hard, you know, you stand on your own and make better future for yourself.
Okay. Uh, Having presided over the presidency of Mbise Association of New Jersey for the first time in the 90s, and currently you're also there as the current president, making it two times you're coming around. It shows a lot of confidence. What does it really take? What are you bringing on the table? Being the president of a good number of people, very diverse and busy people in an association of this of that caliber.
Well, for me, it gives me great joy to serve humanity, to serve people. When I served MBC in 1996, I was quite young. I think. And the MBC people found me worthy. They found me legible as one of the youngest members of the association then to become their president. And it was a historic one because I contested that election with two other very strong members of our community. One is the Reverend Father. He is late now. May his soul rest in peace. But I was surprised the way the people rallied around me. I'm not going to sing my own praise. I think they found something in me that the young fellow then, all the elders allowed me to be their leader. They called me servant leader because I believe I did so much for the community. I raised the community from point A to a higher level at that point. And then um, when it was time to build Mbise to a more greater height, they were also looking for somebody who can give them that leverage between what they're looking for. They personally called on me to run, and I did, and they voted me this second time that I'm the current president. But ambassador, besides Mbise, I have served in this New Jersey community as Abia Imo State Association of Nigerian Public Relation Officer. I have served my Ogbe community as the first elected president of Ogbe Association in the US.
Mhm.
I have served Ogbe Nishi, my immediate autonomous community, as their secretary and PRO. And then coming down to my little village, Umi, which of course I am a very strong, formidable member. I'm still their secretary from the time it was formed over 20 years ago.
Oh well, that's a very interesting involvement in your community. Identifying from the very lowest to the top, and that takes us to your place in MBC USA, because that's the umbrella body of NBC in America, the diaspora NBC in America. And you occupied a very exalted position as a public relations officer of that esteemed body and also director of socials, dating back to 2012 through 2016, 4 years span. Can you try to tell us a bit about MBC USA? What is it all about? and how did you fit into it, that role?
Ambassador, that's a very good question. I have always answered this from every interview that I have been part of. Maybe say USA. People may not know because now we are on a level where it has expanded and been elevated to a very high level. But let me tell you a little bit, if you have time, uh, about Mbise USA, the creation. In 2006 or thereabout, there was an association of Mbise in the US called AFOMA. It was founded around somewhere in the early 90s. But about 1997, if I'm not mistaken, they had a convention in Philadelphia. At that convention, I was at the convention not to represent Mbise as son of New Jersey, but I went there as a son of Mbise who was invited to come. But at that point, my chapter wasn't a member of AFOMA. At that convention, every Mbise son or daughter who was present, 90% of us introduced ourselves
Mm-hmm.
as coming to that function just on our own, not representing any chapter. It was only one chapter that came from New York. And now the question became, then how do we get Mbise to have an umbrella association? Since our former was basically having issues, some kind of turbulence. You know, I record very vividly. Um, Anthony Ken Okorie from Houston, and he just passed away. May his soul rest in peace. And his wife, they were the chairpersons of that event. And right there and then, Mbise appointed a few of us to look into how to make AFOMA more involving for Mbise, how to connect Mbise globally. I was a member of that committee. Maazi Collins Olron was a member of that committee. I think Chief Mrs. Akre was a member of the committee, and quite a few other guys. And all these people I mentioned came to that convention on their own. And so,
Mbise.
Azumumbise. And so that committee was charged with that responsibility of finding how to either reform AFOMA, revive AFOMA, or make AFOMA more motivating for Mumbise. And at that time, the president of AFOMA, and of course, according to the founder, because it was the first meeting, was our brother, Maze Dr. Okechukwu Ugoji Okechukwu. I think he's in Nigeria now. So during the meetings, we started interviewing people from different chapters, local chapters of Umumbise globally. And you know how it is politically. Something happened. I was somehow disconnected from the committee.
Okay.
But they couldn't get a better way to continue with our format and to form a new association. That was the birth of our format. I mean, the birth of Mbise USA. So following that committee, they recommended a new association, and that association was called Mbise USA. So that's how this association was born. And my chapter did not join right away. My chapter is one of those strongest chapters and the oldest chapters in the union. So when you get them to do anything, you have to prove to them why they're joining you.
Okay.
But me as an individual, I started following her from Mbise USA from then as an individual
Well,
until we joined.
and at a point, given the establishment of Mbise USA, you followed the trend and
Yes.
served in the capacity of public relations officer and director of socials. What was it like, being the image maker, the reputation manager of that organization in the United States?
It was truly a very uh, um, good thing for me. It gave me an opportunity to um, do a lot for Mbise community. For instance, at the point when I was the social director and PRO, it was one position. My chapter joined. 2 years after my chapter joined, I ran for this position in Dallas in 2012 and won the position. And from then, I served in the board. I have been in the board since then on behalf of my chapter. So it gave me a wide range of experience and opportunity to serve in Mbise
And
and,
network.
and network also. That was about the time the Mbise medical mission was about a few years, and I served. I went, I traveled with them each year for over 4 years straight. At some point, I was in charge of the hotel and accommodation. I introduced them to City Global Hotel, where
Yeah. On Port
because
Harcourt Road.
for that culture, because I know the owner, and he gave them a very huge discount from what they were paying elsewhere. So I've been involved, and in BC USA, I thank God for allowing my chapter to join because it gave us an opportunity to serve our people back home in any little way we have been supporting.
Mhm.
You know.
Now, let's get a picture of Mbise USA looking at his vision, compared to years back and now. Has it stabilized? Has it expanded? What is the picture you take away, looking at your relation as a president? I know that you are still in regular link with them.
Well, I have been part of this BC USA for quite some time, and I would say from the history I gave you, you can see that it's from teaching to where it is right now.
Hmm.
So if I had to score MBC USA ambassador, they are doing very well. Let me tell you, an association that started from what I explained to you now to having over 20 something chapters of Umumbise across the US. Tells you that doing what is good. Recently we had a few chapters joining and a few coming to this convention that will come in Dallas. And let me tell you what it is. Sometimes people don't know what they have, until they put it here, they put whatever it is in motion and practice. When the leadership of MBC USA, current leadership, ran for their election in California, I came there, I had another candidate for the position of the presidency. My choice wasn't SOSHNDO, but you know how it is with election. And for my own person, I believe in majority. And once anything happens in any election, the next morning I will join my purpose of joining, which is moving MBC forward.
Hmm.
I think that the leadership of MBC USA now have moved MBC to a greater height. And I very sincerely um, acknowledge that. And I always tell that, to my chapter whenever any discussion about MBC USA comes up. MBC USA is an association we don't want to toy with, especially for the betterment of our new generation, our children and unborn ones. We are doing well. Everything cannot be done at the same time. I don't know if you are, I know you are going to be in Dallas because that's your area. So you are going to see Mbise. When Mbise came to New Jersey, dating back to 2014, the New Jersey people, the New Jersey police told us that they haven't seen such a crowd of people coming together as a group in history. And that has been repeated in every state we visit. Currently, coming to your question, currently, Mbise Association of New Jersey, we give kudos to Mbise USA at the level they are right now. I think they are moving towards the right direction. The only thing we need is focus. Mbise Nation needs all of us. So what we have to do is to continue to support the leadership and move Mbise forward.
Well, over the years, there have been problem of transition, moving from one administration to the other, and our inability to look at the right people, having them in right positions. People try to align themselves around different divides. Do you think we've overcome that now?
Well, you can't overcome that in leadership and politics. Again, the most important thing is at the end of the day, what happens after each election. You can align yourself with any candidate of your choice as long as that person is in one business and that person is qualified to run for any position they're vying for. Yeah, we align ourselves as political animals, but the most important thing is after the election, whoever wins, wins, and then we make sure we support them in making Mbise grow. You are not
Okay.
supporting an individual, you are supporting Mbise USA.
And you're supporting a man with vision, a man who could be initiative, in terms of ideas and projects. On a last note, let's get a picture about this great place called Mbise. I describe it as great because I'm part of it. You are part of it. But if we look at our history, I don't think we are where we ought to be. I don't know your own picture. Would you want to give us an insight?
Yeah, we are not where we are supposed to have been today as the Mbise nation. Um, I would think that Mbise need to get more involved politicians, for any community to move from where they are in terms of development to very high and greater, but in terms of whatever that makes a nation or a community great for their people, rural electricity, road, water, all those basic infrastructure. It's either you do it as a people or the government will help you do it. For the government to help you do something, you have to have people involved in politics and people that are involved for the betterment of the people. I think that Mbisa has been blessed with politicians ranging from days of the Ezemoga and, you know,
Obonna,
the
Dr. Obonna then.
Dr. Bonna them, and then coming to even the younger ones these days. There is no administration in Nigeria that you don't record very reputable names of Umumbise. Now the question is, how are they serving our community? Are they there for the interests of themselves and their families? Are they there for the interests of the Mbise person first before the Nigerian global community? So our people should strive to improve in that area.
Hmm.
Yes, but
Okay.
I'm a true son of Mbise. I believe in Mbise nation.
So how will you describe an MPC person?
Well, an Mbise person is a person like Kelechi Onyegbule that everything I eat, drink, and smell and wear is Mbise. That is why it doesn't matter what happens. I always feel very proud to introduce myself as an Mbise person. Mbise man or woman is that person that has that welcoming heart, warming heart of, interacting with one another, having extending that helping hand to the less privileged without looking at anything fear or favor. A typical example of an Mbise son or daughter is Kelechi Onyegbule.
On that note, I'd like to say a special thank you to you. The need for us to be more united, to plan for a better community development, get involved in governance, and act as a catalyst towards ensuring that we're able to provide those amenities and infrastructure that we require to change the face of Mbise nation. On that note, I'd like to thank you once again, Multiple Chief Kelechi Onyegbule, for being my guest.
Ambassador Cliff, I thank you also. You, since you've been involved in NBC USA, I've actually recorded a huge difference in our, communication, and also moving us forward in this age of media. I think you are a blessing to NBC USA. Thank you, my brother. God bless you.
I'm humbled. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank you, and another time we'll find you out to talk on other issues.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
You too.